Hi everyone, it's Claire Stone here, and I just thought I'd make a little video shedding a bit of light on how I perceive death and how I know this is very somber, but I've been seeing loads of articles about people unable to be by the loved one's side when they're passing over with this coronavirus. So, it's only just starting to break out in the UK now. But if we look at Italy and Spain and, all those other countries that have got it real bad, um, sadly, loved ones, they just cannot be by the side of their relations and people are dying alone, basically. And I just wanted to reassure people that we are never alone ever. So even though it's so must be heartbreaking for us, um, rest assured that if your loved one was alone in hospital, that they're never truly alone ever. And I just wanted to remind you of that, because when we pass over to the other side, we have a whole team of our loved ones from spirit who come to collect us, and that's really well known. If you know any nurses, they'll tell you that a lot of people have experienced it. And just before my nan passed away, she started telling us that people who have already passed away had been to visit her, and we knew that the veils were starting to become very thin as she was communicating with both sides, both worlds simultaneously. So that's the first thing, that your loved one, God forbid, you can't be with a loved one who gets put into an intensive care unit. They are not alone and they will not pass alone, because spirit is there. Secondly, they have the guardian angels. Your guardian angel is with you from before you're even born, from conception. It's decided before then. And there will be, and when, even if you don't know your guardian angel now, when you slip out of your body, you will remember who your guardian angel is. The veil of amnesia is removed and you remember all of that. So that they're just two little small key things just to remember. And then finally, the other thing that I wanted to say was, also, if you know that a relation is, they are going to die, basically, if you know that, then you can help by praying from wherever you are. I am a true believer in this, and you can absolutely help your loved one's spirit to cross over by lighting candles and praying. The Buddhists do this, they do it for a good number of days. It's 40 odd days in some traditions where they carry on to help the soul. There's all kinds of death rituals in all different traditions. They're dead interesting. But you can do your bit and you can hold light and hold energy towards your loved one so that they're not alone. And I just wanted to share a really intimate experience with you, because there is so much fear, and that a lot of people are making the shift over to the other side with this pandemic. But about maybe November, I started to meet with an angel who I had never met before. And her name is Layla. And I found out that Layla, she is the feminine aspect of Archangel Azrael. And Azrael is the angel of death and transition, and oversees the angels that carry the individual souls over to the side. And Layla assists for the souls that are coming in from spirit into physical bodies, because when someone is born, that soul has left another dimension. So in some aspect, there's been a death on one realm and a birth here, and vice versa. So that's another thing to think about. So anyway, I started to meet with Layla in meditations and channeled writing, because I was finishing up some articles about my new book, The Female Archangels. But Layla isn't in that book. I didn't know her when I started to write that book. And I thought, why is this angel coming to me now, speaking about death, teaching me about death? And then I actually had a dream that I was watching my own mum's death, and she was lay on the floor, and I was like above, watching from above. And I was really disturbed by this nightmare. And I even phoned my friend Sarah, who is, she's into psychic stuff as well. And I was saying, this isn't going to come true, is it? It's just me, like having a bad nightmare. And she said, oh yeah, it's just a dream. I mean, my mum was 56 years old, do you know what I mean? So it was unlikely that anything was going to happen to my mum. And then sadly, 8 weeks later, which was January this year, my mum did indeed pass away. And, we were really, really shocked by it. So I've been really interested in death, and, that just heightened it all the more. I have actually studied some of the death rituals myself before my mum transitioned, and she basically she ended up on life support. And when the next day, when they switched it off, I felt like I knew that my mum wasn't in that body already. I knew it because I could see her in my third eye. She was in the room. And previous to that, I missed a little bit out there, sorry. When she was actually in a home, when this event first took place, she wasn't in her body then. And she actually asked me to help her. She was in a bit of shock herself. She wasn't afraid, but she was like, oh, Claire, help me. That kind of like, what's going on? Help me get back in. That's literally what she was like. And then, if you've ever been around someone who if you've actually been there when someone passes, it's unreal, like the feeling of peace. I mean, it's really quite paradoxical, because on one moment there could be something really traumatic. There could be ambulance crews, and like there was here, and all kinds of different stuff going on, but also this really strange peace as well. And I could literally feel, I felt like someone was holding my heart. It was bizarre. So anyway, what I decided to do was, while my mum was transitioning, she was out of her body, but people were resuscitating her body, so to speak, but her soul had already left it, and I could see that. And that's what made me realise that what I'd learnt about in all these traditions, where they pray for those souls. I'm not even going to call them the dead, because you're not dead. The physical body dies, but the soul is eternal. And, the personality, the spirit of that person, it does live on 100%. So by me being calm and praying for my mum during this time, that really helped her to stay calm as well. So from my experience and from my beliefs as well, I truly believe that when you are transitioning, you will reach out to your loved ones. I've got another friend who dreamt of somebody who died, and they visited them in the dream. The next morning, this person had passed over. So what I'm trying to say is there's no distance. There's no real distance between souls. You can connect with another soul just by thinking of them, because we're in a quantum reality, So it's time, I think it's time to expand the way that we look at things. Just be open to looking at things in another way. And by praying for people, even if we're not with them, they will receive our prayers. They will know that we're thinking about them. They will receive all of our goodwill gestures. Definitely. So if your loved one and is in hospital, they're in critical care, even if they're not in critical care, pray for them anyway. But if you're feared that a loved one's going to pass along, that is not real. That is not a reality. They're not really alone. They're with them loved ones, and if you can pray for them. So what I would do every single day after my mum's spirit departed, I lit a candle and I said the Lord's Prayer for her every morning. I asked my guardian angels, I asked my spirit guides to send her some lovely golden energy. Even though I was grieving myself, you can still ask them to pass on high vibrational energies, and you can use any prayer you want. You don't have to be religious. I was just brought up with the Lord's Prayer, and it feels like the Our Father prayer. It feels like a really powerful prayer to me. But honestly, any prayer you believe in and you love, say that every single day while your loved one is in hospital, when they're in critical care. Give thanks for the healing and however that healing may occur. Just know that your prayers help and they absolutely mean something. And when that soul leaves the body, it will leave on literally on wings of light with your prayers. Okay, so remember there's no distance, and I'm not saying it's the same as being there. I was lucky enough to be holding my mum's hand when they switched the machine off, and I'm so grateful for that. But we've got to adapt, and this is just for the worst case scenario, just a little bit to try and help you feel a bit better, to know that your prayers absolutely count, definitely. So I hope you find that a little bit reassuring. And I know it's a bit of a random video for me, but I just felt like it might, if it helps one person to prepare to just say them prayers every day, send love to your loved ones every day, and if you can try and stay centered and do that for them, you are doing more than you know for the good of that soul. It really, really helps them to cross over to the side. Don't underestimate the power of it. I really, really hope that you don't need to do this and you and your loved ones are totally, totally safe. This video isn't created to cause any fear whatsoever. It's just a little bit of advice, something to think about, and stay safe and lots of love to you all. Take care, guys.